Welcome, Aquarius, to your monthly horoscope for December. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. This month begins with the Sun in the friendly sign of Sagittarius, perfect to mix and mingle as far as the Christmas festivities are concerned. But I think that you're going to have quite a lot of your energy also directed towards more professional interactions too. This is because Aquarius, Mercury, the planet of communication, and Mars, the planet of drive and recognition, are in a part of your horoscope which is going to see you much more assertive and needing to raise your profile and let people know the talents that you have. Now, of course, Mercury has been tracking backwards. Since the end of October through to the 19th of November, it went forwards on the 20th. As you come into this month, it is going forwards, but it comes out of shadow on the 7th. So if there is a professional situation you've been waiting to hear news about, I do feel it's going to come to pass in the early days of this month. But Mars is going to see you still with a great deal of drive, even if you do want to spend some of this month having a good time. And of course, you've heard that Jupiter, the planet of growth, is set to move into the most spiritual part of your situation for the first time in 12 years. Jupiter is about philosophy, it is about growth, and it can bring a tremendous amount of healing into your situation over the next 12 months and 2 weeks. But also, as you begin this new month, Venus, the planet of love and affection, is in quite a sheltered zone, and it's alongside Ceres, an asteroid which is very much to do with nurture. It's possible that you could, and especially if you're single, be feeling really quite nostalgic for someone from your past. If there is a chance to have some kind of get-together or reunion, you could be a leading light in this. And also, if you are in a relationship where you're not completely sure that it is the right time for you, Venus being in this location could see you needing some moments of seclusion and quiet time just to peruse what the absolute situation may be. However, on the 4th of this month, there is a quarter moon in your second solar house, the sign of Pisces, and this is going to be squaring up to the Sun in Sagittarius. When it comes to friendships and also your values, I do think business and pleasure won't necessarily mix very well from the 4th through to the 11th. If you can, try to keep a separation, because the Sun is also going to be squaring up with Neptune through that whole week as well. So Neptune is very close to this quarter moon, and around your resources this can create some distortion. So if you are trying to do something in a business context, you do need to have the facts of whatever you're trying to achieve very clearly to hand. However, ironically, Neptune also forges some delightful links this month, not least from the 6th to the 10th, when it links beautifully with Venus. Someone could reward you with a surprise Christmas card or a gift or a text or message, or just the warmth of their feeling in a way which is really uplifting across that period of time. But Neptune also forges a brilliant link to Mars from the 7th through to the 18th. And Mars, of course, is in the rumbustious 10th house of your situation, where it's giving you lots of extra desire for attention and for people to be aware of your qualities and talents. But I think what this balance between Neptune and Mars is saying to you is, whilst it's good to go for the main prize, it's also going to be important to be tactically astute, and that may require a degree of subtlety, especially if you're trying to negotiate a better financial situation for yourself. Now, It is true that on the 7th, Mercury comes out of shadow and by the 9th moves into Sagittarius. Here it joins up with the Sun. So this is wonderful. Mercury in this area is technically in detriment, but actually for you, I just think it's going to make you feel a lot jollier. You're going to want to spend a little bit more time feeding into your social situation. You could find yourself pulled around a little bit from the full moon of the 12th. Quite a few people may want a different part of you, which could compromise your loyalties, and some choices and decisions may need to be made. However, from the 16th through to the 24th, the role of Mars and Saturn and Pluto is critical to your progress. Even if you are ramping up your efforts to try to achieve the outcomes that are so important about your longer term ambitions, it's still going to be a case of step by step, gently but progressively and persuasively improving each part of your performance or your approach, and that's putting in place a much more firm and secure foundation. But it may be that you're still not quite getting the recognition that you would like. What can change this is that on the 20th, Venus glides into your sign. This is going to see you much less mournful around a relationship scenario, and if you're single, there's going to be a wonderful opportunity to flirt, and there could be a real connection with someone in the run-up to Christmas Day itself, as Venus goes into a right angle with your modern ruler of Uranus. It's also possible that in a romantic situation which has been a little bit more challenging and on the back of the full moon, that you may want a little bit more space for yourself. And if a partner resists this, this could create a little bit of tension. But what I can tell you is that on the 22nd, the Sun joins up with Jupiter and Ceres in the sign of Capricorn, along with Saturn and Pluto. Now, Saturn has, over the last 6 or 7 months, been creeping closer to Pluto, and that has been upping the pressure, the psychological pressure, which has been much more to the fore over the last couple of years. This is going to be particularly the case if you're born in the earlier parts of Aquarius. And of course, in 2018, Mars and Uranus were in a big right angle, which may have affected the foundations of emotional relationships or even your family situation. And the 12th house that Saturn and Pluto are moving through may have continued to press down on some very sensitive points within your history, within the more vulnerable parts of your nature, and it may have felt like it has been quite a long old road. But what I can tell you is that with the help of Jupiter, as it comes into a conjunction with the Sun, as this year comes to a close, this is going to give you a greater sense of conviction that things can turn in your direction. Saturn's going to be moving into your sign twice in 2020, and on a longer term basis from the 14th of December 2020. So just be aware that you're going through a process. It peaks on the 12th of January, and then Saturn starts to inch away from Pluto on the 18th of February next year. So I feel that Jupiter moving into this area is asking you to be more accepting of letting go of the situations and the people and the hurt and the pain which no longer serve your greater purpose. This can be a very difficult thing to do because Aquarius people are enormously loyal, very, very fair-minded, and also you don't like to give up because you're a fixed sign. And this comes from the rulership of your sign of Saturn. But if something just isn't showing signs of healing, try to be as philosophical as possible as this year draws to a close. But there is one wonderful extra element, because the role of Venus is going to be emphasized even more by the midpoint between the Sun and the Moon, and that's going to be in Aquarius too, as the shutters come down on this year. And this is going to give you a wonderful opportunity to really flourish that more individualistic side of your nature. You might be surprised by who steps forwards in your world. You're going to be emanating a unique vibe. Someone may be a little shy, they may be a little reserved. Watch out for someone's body language. They may not necessarily articulate their interest in you, but more interest is heading your way. And there could be a stepping up of a very slow building alliance which has been emerging for some while, which can really delight you as this year comes to a close. If you'd like to know what 2020 would hold for you beyond your zodiac sign or ascendant, please see the link beneath this video. You can order your personal horoscope based on your time, date and place of birth for the next year. And if you order it in 2019, you get the rest of the year free. But I'd also like to thank you sincerely for all the watches in 2019. I have gone through a bit of a tough time myself with my health and some personal issues. And this journey of Saturn over the last couple of years has been one that's been very, very profound for me too. But I'd like to thank you. In 2020, I'm going to be much more active. My energy is so much better. I'm going to be sharing some live broadcasts also on YouTube. But for now, I'd like to wish you sincerely a very happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Good luck and goodbye.